Hey everybody, I'm back. I know I have been gone for a year actually, and you might be wondering what's been going on with me. So I wanted to share where I've been for the past year. A year ago today was actually the last time I made a blog post on Extravagant Dreams, and it was very short because that was the day that we found out that our pregnancy tests came back negative from the fertility treatment we had been trying. It was a really hard day for me. I had really gotten my hopes up with the treatment and gotten a lot of other people's hopes up with the blog and with family and friends. And so not only was I feeling really big disappointment and discouragement, but I was also feeling that I had disappointed a lot of people around me too, who were praying and hoping with us. And it was just really sad. After a week of praying and getting some counsel and praying some more, we decided that we weren't going to go through with a second round of treatment like we had originally planned. It's just too much with the holidays going on, and our emotions were already crazy, and then you add in all the weird hormonal stuff going on with me and the medications that I had to be taking. And we just also had a fresh realization of the toll it was taking on our relationship. And so after a week of praying, we decided to take a step back and take a break from trying. This was also really hard for me because in the back of my mind, part of me wasn't sure if we would ever come off of that break. I was not in a great place at that point in time, and part of me just wanted to give up hope altogether. Part of me just wanted to be done with trying, with getting my hopes up, with having them crushed month after month after month. I just wanted to be done with it all. With the new year, we decided to do some couples counseling and focus on our relationship while we were taking a break from the fertility stuff. And I also realized that I had been struggling with some deeper depression there beyond just infertility struggles and relationship struggles and marriage issues and all that. So on top of couples counseling, I also started doing some individual counseling as well. And that was really hard, but also really good and really helped a lot. I think at that point in time, I was really struggling with a crisis of faith on top of everything else. I mean, I was really a mess. I was really doubting a lot. I was doubting God's love for me. I was doubting God's goodness. I was doubting my faith and if I had the ability to endure this trial to the end, and really just wanting out. I was just done, and I really wanted out of it all. Seeing counseling and doing marriage counseling and realizing that Dode is on my side and he is for me, and being reminded of how much we do love each other was really helpful, and I really needed that. I think in the middle of all of these losses and all of this struggling and suffering, I really lost sight of that. I lost sight of God's love for me. I lost sight of my husband's love for me. And even though I didn't stop believing in it completely, I think it was also hard for me to acknowledge because I was afraid that I would lose all of that too. You know, once you've lost 2, 3, 4 pregnancies, it can be really difficult to think that you're not going to lose everything and that God is just punishing you, and so you must be a terrible person, and that's the dark hole that I went down. Thankfully, I have awesome family and church family and friend support, and with their help and with the help of counseling, I began to climb out of that pit. It's obviously still a work in progress, but I feel much more grounded and firm on my foundation of belief in God and His love for me, and that I am not unseen or forgotten. Those beliefs were put to the test yet again in August when we found out that we were pregnant for a 4th time. Needless to say, we were very cautiously hopeful since our track record has not been great. And so I went for blood work the day after I found out I was pregnant. Unfortunately, my numbers were not doubling, and so after 4 blood draws, each 2 days apart, so about a week after we found out, we went in for an ultrasound just to make sure that this wasn't a second ectopic pregnancy. The first thing that the doctor saw in the ultrasound was that I really had no uterine lining, which means there was no baby in my uterus. That in and of itself was a disappointing blow, as we had been praying and hoping that God would work miracles and this baby would be healthy and be okay. The second thing that we had to worry about and look for was, is there a baby somewhere else in my body? It's really awful when you're hoping and praying that you're just actually not pregnant, or that you're actually just miscarrying, rather than there being a baby inside your body. Of course, in my case, there was a baby. It was just not where it should have been. And it was not in a place where it could grow and sustain life. It was in my right tube again. So we had another really hard decision to make about what to do with that pregnancy. Do I have surgery to have that tube removed, since there's a risk it could rupture and cause me to bleed out or need emergency surgery? Or do I take the medication, which is technically a chemo drug, and avoid surgery, but then have basically poison in my body, killing off cells? When you put it that way, there's really no great answer, but we decided to go with the medication since I handled it well the first time through, and I really was not trying to have a surgery. I also wanted to keep my tube just in case there was a chance that it could be used in the future, and it's part of my body. So now we have 4 angel babies, and I don't know if you can see, but I have a 4th birthstone on my little necklace here that I carry with me everywhere I go. And we are still waiting and praying for our rainbow baby. To that end, it really got Dode and I talking, because there's obviously something going on with my right tube. I've had 2 ectopic pregnancies now in that right tube, along with the 2 other miscarriages. Basically, if I keep trying naturally, I'm still at a risk of having ectopics, and that risk is actually higher now since I've had 2 prior. And after 4.5 years of trying naturally, we are ready to try something else. So again, after much prayer and counsel, we have decided that in the new year we are moving forward with plans for IVF. This is super scary, but also super exciting, and I just feel really grateful that God has given me a peace about this. You know, in 4.5 years, IVF has come up time and time and time again, and I've just never been ready to go there. I've not been ready to think about it, or if I've been ready to think about it, I've just not been ready to pull the trigger and actually move forward with it. And this time I just feel ready. I feel peace about moving forward. I feel excited about the process, and that's a really big difference. I used to feel discouraged about it and scared about all the drugs and hormones I was gonna have to take. Like, this is the complete opposite of natural, crunchy, healthy me. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I am finally okay with it, and that doesn't mean I'm changing my stance on health in any other format, but I just think there is a time for medical intervention, and I guess we're there. I guess we're ready for that. So I feel really grateful for that piece, because it has not been an easy decision, and it's complicated. It's really complicated, and it's really intense. I know way more about IVF than I ever thought I would, and I'm sure there's still way more about it that I don't know about yet, because I just haven't gone through it. So it is still a little bit intimidating, but like I said, I'm also excited and think we're ready. So I know this means we're signing us up for another roller coaster year next year, but I'm looking forward to it and hoping that it ends up being a really great year for us. So that's just a snippet of what's been going on with us this year and what we are looking forward to this coming year. I appreciate all of you for watching this video, especially if you have stuck with the blog and stayed subscribed even through my year off hiatus, whatever you want to call it. I hope you enjoy this update, and I hope you all are doing well and ready for your holidays. I will talk to you guys soon.